Welcome to the Brothers of Destruction podcast, where we break down all the latest WWE action. From epic rivalries to shocking twists, we've got the full breakdown.
And it's a hard one to rate, but at the same time, it more than did its job, and it had a shocking conclusion. So Oba Femi comes out to a superstar entrance, everyone chanting his name, everyone doing the dance, the walk, sorry, even. Oba Femi comes out. He's not lost his head in the moment there. He looks like he switched on against Brock Lesnar in a short match. Great match atmosphere for it, great reaction. Oba Femi beats him in a few minutes out of nowhere, even getting up from an F5. And Brock Lesnar puts over Oba Femi big time.
Yeah, it probably went as most people expected.
Yeah, sure. This one was short. Like, out of the matches that were rushed and short, this one was expectedly short.
Yeah, it was. And explosive. I'm glad it wasn't a squash match in the sense of what Goldberg did to Brock at Survivor Series.
No,
2017.
Changed.
It was 2017, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
2016, yeah.
16. Yeah, it wasn't quite like that. Like Brock had his moments, and then even when he gave him the F5, I like the fact that Oba tried to get up, but was struggling a bit, but then managed to sort of get himself up and
then just spring up from it. Yeah.
Yeah. He sort of struggled to get up, and I liked it. This match was probably sort of as expected, short, explosive, and it took Oba Femi into a different stratosphere now.
Yeah,
he's the talk of the town at the moment.
Oh, he is. Yeah, Oba Femi's like big name now. Name now that people are already talking about for a title picture, him against Roman Reigns, or
let that simmer.
Him in the main event at next year's Mania.
For me, I'd let that simmer. But in saying that, you know what? Maybe not, because Roman Reigns isn't getting any younger. Oba Femi's still a really young man.
Wait out too long.
Roman Reigns isn't the youngest. He's my age, so I'm not saying he's an old man, but in wrestling terms, he's not the youngest. There's other feuds out there for him as well. So I don't know. Maybe you try and throw them in for SummerSlam.
Could be SummerSlam.
Maybe I think let it simmer until maybe next year WrestleMania. But you know what? Maybe throw them in at SummerSlam, and then again you throw them in at next year's WrestleMania.
He could be an early favorite for the King of the Ring.
I think he will be. I think if Roman Reigns was early 30s, then I think maybe this one you could let simmer, because they're a
couple years.
In theory, they should both have plenty of time. But Roman Reigns is 40. Was he 40, 41 now?
I think he's pushing 40 this year.
So no, he's 40 already.
He's not 40. He might be. Yeah, actually, he's older than Usos by a year. I think. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you go. I'm sure he's 40.
Yeah, he's 40. He's 41 next month. But yeah.
So again, he's not in a position where you can let things simmer with him. We've really missed out on his match with The Rock. So you know what? Yeah, give us Oba Femi, Roman Reigns for SummerSlam.
On that note, not to take too much attention from Oba Femi's victory, but one shocking moment we see is Lesnar leaving his boots and his gloves in the ring. Looks like he's Paul Heyman saying otherwise, saying it's rumors. But it looks like Brock Lesnar's called it a day, which after AJ, not long after AJ Styles, not long after John Cena, now it's another legend we grew up watching.
You know what? Out of all the guys that's retiring, AJ, Cena, I don't know why. I feel the biggest attachment I've got is to Brock Lesnar.
See that.
And for me, it was a shocking moment. I was like, even I shouted out with Kevin, was watching it together. I shouted out, no, because you can see the way he was set up. And I was like, he's gonna take off the gloves, and then he took off the boots. There's one thing taking off the gloves, but when he took off the boots as well, I was like, oh no. If this is to be it, then thank you, Lesnar. You have been one of the best performers I have seen in my time watching wrestling for over 30 years. An underrated performer. Again, his selling is some of the best, maybe the best I've seen. His skill set, particularly sort of in his younger days, last 10 years or so, it's been suplexes. But prior to that, he was quite a versatile performer. His skill set incredible, selling incredible, his psychology unreal, made it look real. He was the most real in-ring competitor I've seen. Him probably along with Kurt Angle and maybe Bret Hart, just outside of those two. I would say in terms, again, you know what I've said, coming in and said, I like it to look real.
Yeah.
Lesnar, it looks and feels real when he's in there. Kurt Angle, back in the day, it was the same. But Brock was probably the number one with that. And in some ways, he was like the WWE's Mike Tyson, in the sense he was almost the perfect and the best mix of speed, power, athleticism. It's rare you get those three. You get one, maybe two if you're lucky. You get someone who's like got the power, but he's not particularly fast, not particularly athletic, or you get someone athletic,
quick,
fast, but not particularly powerful. This guy was the mix of all three. He was fast. He was physically strong.
He is like a once in generation sort of athlete. You know what I mean? Like, even as great as Oba Femi is, I don't think Oba Femi has speed that he does.
He doesn't have the speed Brock had sort of in his pomp or the athleticism. And this is what I mean by that perfect mix. Kurt Angle,
even Bron Breakker, I don't know if he has the power like Lesnar does.
He's
athletic as he is. I don't know if he has the power Lesnar does.
Possibly as quick, and I wouldn't even count on that. If I'm talking about Brock Lesnar, sort of in his first run, and when he came back in 2012, maybe for the first couple of years.
Oh man, Brock's bigger than Bron as well.
Yeah, like he was. Yeah, in terms of speed, power, athleticism, for me, it was. Yeah, he was the Mike Tyson of the WWE, and he was destructive. He was wicked. So look, thank you, Lesnar. Listen,
if you are retiring, I think you will retire.
I think he will retire. I think and I think Oba Femi is the right guy to retire him as well. It's a shame it's not SummerSlam, but I think looking, you're at WrestleMania, retiring on the biggest stage with the next big thing, so to speak.
Someone mentioned as well, mate, my mention as well, it's in Las Vegas where he had a lot of his big fights in UFC. So for him, sentimentally,
that's the right
way for him to retire.
Yeah, no, listen, thank you, Lesnar. It was an emotional moment, shocking moment. But yeah, it was a bit unreal, to be fair. And someone made the point. They said he probably didn't tell WWE because they'll screw it up. TKO would find a way of screwing it up.
That sounds of it, yeah. Like Triple H didn't sound like he knew about it apparently when
he didn't tell anyone. So big up Brock Lesnar. He's one of the great performers I've seen.
But that being said, Heyman's also saying it's a rumor and Heyman's not confirming it. So if he does appear on Raw tonight, we'll have more of an idea.
Yeah.
I heard he was advertised for Raw and he's not now, so
we'll see. Maybe Gunther draws him back out, but
yeah,
I think Oba Femi is the right guy to retire him. I'd rather Oba Femi retire him than Gunther, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, I don't think you need to have Gunther retire for one. I think like people's careers and stuff, you can't just give them all to one person.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to build up their character, I think it's a bit.
This was the right guy to retire Brock Lesnar. Whether it be here or SummerSlam, for me, Oba Femi is the right guy to retire him.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar put him over in a big way, so credit to him for doing that. You know what I mean? He doesn't just put anyone over, which, if you look at it, is probably a positive. So he puts you over. That says a lot about you.
Yeah, Oba Femi's got the ball now, and I don't see him dropping it either.
Let's hope not. Let's hope they don't mess it up. What rating we giving this? It's a hard rating to give.
It is.
I think just because it's short, explosive, but it's meant to be.
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 7, like a good 7. Like in terms of the action, the moment, what it did, the purpose of it, the execution. Even Brock Lesnar retiring, I give it a 7 for it. So did its job. It did its job.
Yeah, that's it's a good way of summing it up.
Short and sweet, without giving everyone too much or to a point where the crowd dies down from it.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of putting it. It did its job.
Yeah, more than did its job. So it did its job efficiently. That's the word.
Thank you for watching the Brothers of Destruction podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and look out for our question of the week.